Coming up on GC Conversations, a very important segment for our employees here on campus as we explore the changes to our benefits package as open enrollment starts. Welcome to this edition of GC Conversation. I'm Brittany Johnson, and our guest today is Miss Pat Wilkins from HR. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're so glad that you're here, and we're talking about something that's very important to, especially our folks here on campus, are about 800 employees, right?
Exactly.
We're going to be talking about some of our open enrollment period and the benefits changes that are coming up. But first, let's talk a little bit about human resources and what you guys do.
Okay, thank you, Brittany. First of all, Human Resources is the people organization on the campus. And what we try to do is manage our most important asset, and that's our human capital. And we do this by providing a variety of services to them, such as talent management. When people need to hire someone, we help them through that process. Compensation and benefits, making sure we're in the marketplace with our compensation plans, and that our benefits suit our employees and their families' needs. We also work in human relations, and this is where we get into areas of issues with employees and try to help resolve those to make it a better workplace for them and the people they work with. We also are involved in organizational development and training, and through that we can help establish career paths for our employees. We also make sure that the university is compliant with all the laws relating to employment. This includes federal, state, and any Board of Regents policies that we may have. Another thing we do is we continue our services to our retirees when they leave us. We want them to remain a part of the Georgia College family. And this is very important during this time of year, that we maintain that relationship with them. And we also help them with the return to work. If they choose to come back to Georgia College, and work part-time after their retirement, we help them do that also. So those are just a few of the things we do.
Right,
in
a lot of different facets over there with you guys, and the staff over there is really specialized in certain areas. We have folks to go to, I know, that are over certain departments.
Correct.
And broken down like that. Can you explain to us just kind of the setup of the office?
Yeah. Yes, I can do that. One of our areas is what we might call the hiring process area, and they are the ones that get you on payroll and get you paid. So that's a very important segment of our office. Our employee relations area, they work with our employees to help resolve any issues they may have. For instance, under federal law is the American Disabilities Act. It may be that someone, say, has had an injury and they need a special accommodation to continue doing their work, for a period of time. So we help with those issues like that. Someone may have someone in their family that's become ill that they need to stay at home with. We apply the FMLA laws with that, the Family Medical Leave Act. And that helps them assure that they'll have a job, when the caregiving is over. We also have our compensation and benefits side, where we are continually looking at the market to make sure that our compensation plan is in line with that, not only within the market but across the university as a whole. Our benefits, of course, we're under the university systems benefit plan, but we have to implement those plans. And we do counseling with our employees, help them get signed up. And during this time of year, this is really when that comes into play, is during the open enrollment period, to make sure that our employees and their families have the protection and the plans that they need that suits their needs.
Right, and a lot of changes, as with any field, they're constantly going on, different changes in laws, I can imagine,
Exactly.
changes in benefits packages and that sort of thing. So it's something that you guys always are bringing together information. And you also hold several sessions throughout the year to inform folks about the changes in all these different facets.
We do that, and in addition to changes, we have information sessions. We have a lunch and learn series. We'll take a specific topic and do just a brown bag lunch roundtable discussion. As a matter of fact, I believe the next one is on taxes. So whatever is the interest, of the university, we try to bring something forward to give them more information on that.
And as you said earlier, one of the big things that folks are looking for information on this time of year is the benefit packages. As for most employers across the country at this time, it's the time for open enrollment period where there may be some changes in benefits. What is that process like for you guys, and what are some of the things you guys do leading up to this open enrollment period that's here?
We have been planning for open enrollment since the middle of August. So it's not something that just happens. A lot of planning, a lot of thought goes into it. And just this past week, we had our benefits and wellness fair. And we took it a step further this year. In years past, we've only had one day, and the focus on it was benefits. But now our health insurance is kind of turning a curve to where they're emphasizing wellness, and working with people, our employees, to help them become more healthy and to become more aware of what they're doing in their lives that may influence their health. So we added a day of wellness to that, and we had it at the new Wellness and Recreation Center. We had, I think, 123 people to attend. We had different vendors, we had different activities, and I think everybody that went really, really enjoyed it. And that added a little something, another flavor to what we're doing. Then on Thursday, we had our Benefits and Perks Fair, and this gave employees an opportunity to meet our new vendors that we're going to be using effective January 1st and talk with them and get more information. And then we added a third day. It was a short day, unfortunately a very rainy day, but it was what we called our Community Partners in Service. And as you know, one of the missions of Georgia College is for community outreach.
Right.
And this gave our employees an opportunity to meet volunteer organizations around town and in the area that they could get involved with.
So a lot of stuff leading up to this open enrollment period that is here now. Coming up in just a second, we're going to delve a little deeper into some of the changes that are coming and some tips for folks as they get ready to plan their family's health benefits for the next year.
Okay.
That will be right back in just a second. We'll join you again in just a few minutes on GC Conversations.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh, yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh, no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment, and that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to GC Conversations, where our guest today is Ms. Pat Wilkins from the HR department, and we're talking about benefits and open enrollment for our employees here on campus. Now, we've all noticed over the last few weeks all of the emails going out and alerts saying that there are some major changes that are coming this year that we need to be aware about. First of all, walk us through the process, because for most of us it's been a year since we've done this.
Yes.
How do we go? What's the first thing that we need to do, or where do we need to go to start the process of looking at our benefits package?
Okay, at this point in time, every employee should have received a booklet, that has our benefit plan in it, information on the new providers, and any other changes. The first thing they need to do is to take that booklet, go through it, and go through it with your spouse, and determine what you and your family needs. Then when you have devised a plan, you need to go into the ADP portal. This is where you enter your time and what have you. Click on the benefits tab, and it will guide you through the open enrollment process. So that's what needs to take place. But we can't emphasize enough how important it is this year with the changes in providers and with some changes in coverage that you and your spouse need to take a look at it together and develop a plan for your family.
So it is important then for folks to take an in-depth look, and there are several options as far as health benefits, and then we have dental and vision, to really explore and look at what each entails.
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about, as you mentioned just a second ago, there are some changes in some of our providers that are out there. Talk to us a little bit about some of those changes and how they may change our personal benefits package.
Okay, our new providers this year for what we call our voluntary benefits, these are benefits that the employees pay 100% of the cost on. It's in our dependent life coverage, our supplemental life coverage, vision care, dental care, short-term disability, as well as long-term disabilities. All of those have new providers this year. So you're going to need to go in and look at the plans, decide what's best for you, and enroll in those plans. You will physically have to enroll in them through the ADP.
So this is not something as in years past where we can just not do anything
Exactly.
and it rolls over.
That is
very important to go in and make these choices.
That is the big point. In years past, if you didn't have any changes, you didn't have to do anything. This year is totally different. Everybody has to go in and do something this year. And one of the things we want to emphasize is, like on the life insurance, that you have your beneficiary designation as you want it to be. So there's a lot of things that are going to touch your lives through this open enrollment process.
And definitely something that you need to look at. Another major change is with the tobacco policy, and something that has not been done this way in the past. Can you explain that to us?
Right. For the last couple of years, there has been a tobacco surcharge, and the selection defaulted to no. And you voluntarily went in and admitted you were a tobacco user. And this is any tobacco, cigarettes, cigars, stuff, chewing tobacco, whatever. And you had to manually select that you were a tobacco user. This year, however, for employees, it is defaulting to yes, you are a tobacco user. And if you are not a tobacco user and you do not make that change to no, you will automatically be charged a $50 surcharge, non-refundable, until that change is made. Now, you can go in any time during the year and make that change. Say you are currently a tobacco user. Come January 1st, you've made a New Year's resolution, I'm putting those things down, and you're successful. Then you can go in and make a change to a non-tobacco user, and that surcharge will be removed. So it's very, very important, particularly for people that are not tobacco users, to go in and make the selection that you are not. And this tobacco user surcharge now applies to the employee, their spouse, or any dependent over 18 that uses tobacco, and it's $50 for each one. So it's very important that they do that.
The overriding theme that I see is it's very important for folks to get in and look at this and make the choices and make the changes. As in years past, as you mentioned, you could kind of lay low and not do anything if you didn't want to make any changes. But this year, I think the key is you must log in and you must look at it. Are there any other changes that folks should be aware of at this point?
Just one good thing that's happening with our health insurance this year is on our open access and our high deductible plan, there is no premium increase. I've been at Georgia College since 1988, and this is the first time I can ever remember no premium increase. But those that do have HMOs, there will be a slight increase in them. There are a few changes in the coverage under health insurance. For example, the copay for emergency room visits. That's going to increase from $50 to $150. And there's also some changes in the in-network and out-of-network deductibles. Like, for example, under the high deductible plan, up until the coming year, those have been combined. Now they will be separate. Another change is with the health savings account that attaches to the high deductible plan. The university system will continue to match the contribution that you make in that plan, up to $375 for an individual, $750 for a family. Also, those with a health savings account this coming year can also have a special purpose flexible spending account in addition to that. And what that covers is vision and dental. And where that comes into play is on a flexible spending account, the money is available to you at the beginning of the year, and then you pay it through payroll deduction throughout the year. Well, say you want to have LASIK surgery done. Well, you could go ahead and have that done and have up to $2,500 in your flexible spending account to apply toward the cost of that. You wouldn't have to wait and let that money accumulate to have it done. Or say, for instance, you had to have some major dental work. You could go ahead and have that done. You don't have to wait for it to accumulate. So that's a very, very good added benefit. And on the subject of flexible spending accounts, the provider for that will be changing. We've used Discovery before. It will also be under U.S. Bank, the same as our health savings account. So those are some changes there. And as in past years, if you have a flexible spending account, you do have to re-enroll in that every year and tell them what you want to contribute to it each month. So those are the major changes in the health insurance.
So there are several changes this year that folks need to be aware of, and I know that you've also got some tips for folks to explore. We're going to take a look at those in just a second, and we'll be back for more on this edition of GC Conversations.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkelpel. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
We're back on this edition of GC Conversation with Ms. Pat Wilkins from HR, and we're talking about health benefits for our folks here on campus. Are about 800 employees, right?
Yes, exactly.
You talked about some of the changes that were going on this year, and the most important being that folks absolutely have to log in and make changes to their accounts. Correct?
Absolutely.
For several reasons, and we just covered those. And as we're going through the process, you mentioned earlier some tips that you had for people. One of those being to make sure that you come together with your spouse, with your family, to find out what works best. What are some other things that you would suggest for people as they work through this process?
Okay, first of all, we are taking this a step further this year to help our employees make the right choices and get enrolled properly to be sure that they have what they're expecting to have when January 1 rolls around. And the way we're doing this is we're going to have labs, computer labs set up in the library behind Books and Brew. We'll be having those open every day through extended hours, and somebody will be there from HR to help them in any way they can. And this will start next Monday on November the 11th and run through the end of open enrollment on November 22nd. So help is available to everyone. All they have to do is just come in and we will help them. Another thing they can do is this year the university system has set up texting to remind people today is open enrollment. About midway, it'll say you've got 5 more days left. Then you'll get one that says tomorrow's the end of open enrollment. And then you'll get one that says today is the last day of open enrollment. It's very easy to sign up. Just text USG to 23613 and they can receive those text messages as reminders. We also ask people, to watch their inboxes because we will be continually sending out information and reminders. Again, I can't emphasize this too much. You need to sit down with your family and go through the plan booklet. Write down any questions you may have so that you know you're choosing the right package for you and your family. You need to certify the tobacco usage. That's very, very important. And also remember that you are required to make your changes during open enrollment. Once that window closes, that's it. And those are not set by us. Keep that in mind. We're doing this as a university system. So it's very, very important to pay attention to the dates.
And I guess one of the main keys with this is not to wait until the last minute because you guys are having the open computer labs. So the sooner that you can actually come in with your questions from meeting with your family and discussing what your options and what your needs are, the best would be to come in as early as possible to help with that process, right?
Exactly. And they can get the schedules for the labs by going to our website at www.gcsu.edu/HR. And they can also get more information regarding benefits by going to the university system website. And that website is usg.edu/HR/benefits. And there is just a wealth of information there.
So a lot of different resources for folks out there. As far as the labs go, do they need to make an appointment to come in to talk to you guys, or is it just kind of a come and go?
They don't need to make an appointment, but of course remember there is limited space. So they may come in and it be full and they have to come back again. We are asking that the first 3 days be reserved for people that don't have computer access because we do have people on campus, such as our custodial group, our grounds group. We're kind of giving those priority the first 3 days. If there's an open space, yes, come on in, but do expect it to be rather crowded those first 3 days. But we will have extended hours, so even after work you can come over, and we'll be glad to help you.
And any questions that people may have as they're looking through the booklet, either before enrollment starts or as they work through the process, can they give you guys a call over in HR?
Absolutely. You can call us at extension 5596 and someone will be more than happy to take your questions and answer them for you.
And everyone there in you guys' office is well versed in all the changes and can answer any of the questions as they may come along for these folks. So know that you're getting the best service available.
Absolutely. And if it's a question we can't answer, we'll admit it, we'll find the answer, and we'll get the information back to them.
Okay, and as you said, a lot of information out on our website at gcsu.edu/HR.
Correct.
And on the USG website where you can have their videos available there and a lot more information on this process and some of the changes. Pat, is there anything else that you can think of that folks really need to know? I think, as we've said multiple times, our key with this is that you must log in. For the first time in several years, you must log in and make some changes here.
Exactly. This year is different than any other year. Another big change this year is, in years past, we've had 4 weeks for open enrollment. This year, it has been reduced to 2 weeks, so you have less time to do more. But I'd also like to take this opportunity to express the whole office of HR for Dr. Dorman's support of this project. He has taken every opportunity that he's had available to inform our community, our campus community, about open enrollment and its importance to us.
Right, and that's very important as we undertake a process like this. So any questions that folks may have, you can give a call to HR or send emails, come into the Open Labs. A lot of opportunities for folks out there over the next 2 weeks to get more information and make sure they have a plan to fit their lives.
Exactly.
Okay, Pat, thanks so much for joining us today. We definitely appreciate you.
And thank you for having us.
All right, thanks so much. And that's it for this edition of GC Conversations. You can join us again next time.
There's something special about this time of year. The air is a little crisper. The holidays are around the corner. And it's time to think about your benefits for 2014. This year, open enrollment means new opportunities and choices for you. This summer, the University System of Georgia announced a bold new strategy that will help our institutions prepare for the future and work together more effectively. One of the steps we're taking is to move to a consistent approach to employee benefits across all of our institutions. And the end result is comprehensive benefits at competitive prices. Some of our 2014 plans may look familiar to you, and some may be new. Take time during open enrollment to review your options and decide what's best for you and your family. We provide, you decide. So let's talk about what this means to you. Everyone must review their benefit options and take action by actively enrolling for 2014 benefits coverage. Your chance to enroll will be here soon. Open enrollment takes place Monday, November 11th through Friday, November 22nd. So mark your calendar. Concerned you might forget? Don't worry. Just sign up to have important updates and reminders sent right to your phone. Text USG to 23613. The University System of Georgia is taking a fresh approach to healthcare for 2014. We're working with you to promote healthy behavior, use of in-network providers, and ways you can become more involved in your healthcare. Good news, health plan premiums will remain the same, except for the Kaiser HMO plan. You'll still have the same 4 healthcare options you had in 2013. But in 2014, all plans will allow you to save money by ordering your prescriptions through the mail. Depending on your plan, you may also see changes in copays or deductibles. But no matter what healthcare plan you enroll in, you'll pay a $50 tobacco surcharge per month per tobacco user if you or any of your covered dependents age 18 and older use tobacco products. So make sure you certify your tobacco status during open enrollment. And as you know, your benefits are more than just healthcare plans, so you'll want to check out all the other benefits we provide. For instance, if you enroll in the HSA Open Access POS healthcare plan, you can open a tax-free U.S. Bank health savings account to pay for healthcare during the year or save for the future. Plus, when you contribute, the university system will match your contributions up to $375 for an individual or $750 for a family. Make sure to compare the 2 options offered by Delta Dental so that you can select the dental coverage that best suits you and your family. And you can also enroll in the iMed Vision Care plan. You can get vision care from any licensed provider, but you'll save money when you use an iMed network provider. Not enrolled in the high-deductible health plan, but would still like to save money on healthcare costs? Sign up for the U.S. Bank Healthcare FSA and pay these expenses with tax-free money. And if you have children under 13 that need care while you work, the U.S. Bank Dependent Care FSA lets you save money on dependent care expenses. Your benefits also include short and long-term disability coverage from MetLife. These plans replace a portion of your income if you become ill or have an injury that keeps you from working. And while no one can predict the future, you can plan for the unexpected with life and accidental death and dismemberment coverage through Minnesota Life. You can buy coverage for yourself and your family. This is just a small sample of the benefits the University System of Georgia provides. We've covered a lot in a short time, but don't worry, we'll be helping you every step of the way. You can sign up to have text updates sent to your phone. You'll continue to receive information via mail and email. Plus, many institutions will host benefits fairs or meetings to help you make decisions and get answers to your questions. Don't forget, you must select benefits during open enrollment if you want coverage for yourself and your family in 2014. You must also certify your tobacco use status. We provide, you decide.